You're waiting for someone to tell you that you can be bold, that you can be confident, even if you're not perfect, even if you think you're not good enough, this message is for you. Hi everyone, welcome back to The Real One. It's your host Gabby, and in this podcast we encourage each other to be our authentic self and generally walk in who we've been called to be in this world. Today I wanted to remind you, you already have what it takes to be bold. I feel like we live in a society that is so concentrated in being perfect that until you reach a certain level, you can't be bold, you can't be confident. If you haven't reached that amount of likes, if you haven't reached that amount of validation from the people that you want to receive validation from, you feel like you can't be confident and you can't be bold. Well, as I said before, you already have what it takes to be bold, and you do not need anyone's permission. Now, I went to research what does it mean to be bold. Definition said acting in a behavior that doesn't show that you have fear. So it doesn't mean that you do not have fear, but you're not acting in a way that shows your fear. So you're not acting in response of your fear. So now if you feel like, for example, hiding or not being visible from people, you do not go and hide because you feel like hiding or because you know that's your response, that's your coping mechanism, right? But instead you act anyways, confidently and boldly, regardless of the fear that you may have. I thought like, whoa. Does that mean that even if when sometimes I feel fear, I am still a bold person when I choose to do something anyways? And I think society doesn't tell us that. Societies make us feel that we have different type of people that have a different, range of fear, and you're good. Like the best people are the people that do not have fear. The difference between a bold person and a non-bold person is that they're doing it anyways, even if they have fear. And I think as someone that I struggled a lot with sense of belonging, understanding where do I belong, who am I, how can I make sure that I am doing what I'm passionate about. And I think one thing that I really struggled with the sense of belonging was I found myself challenging a lot of times stereotypes on the fact that I am a woman, so I need to act a certain way, but then I am a black woman, right? I'm black, so I need to act a certain way so people do not put me in the stereotype that they already have in their mind because I'm black. So I felt like I was always running from stereotypes. And now, actually reflecting on it, I've realized that the reason why at the time I wasn't being confident and I wasn't being bold, even though I was trying to fit in and people were telling me like, you fit in, like you're one of us, you're one of us. The reason why I wasn't being confident is because I was acting a certain way out of fear rather than boldness and confidence, trying to break stereotypes. And the issue is not breaking stereotypes, but the issue is I was doing it because I wanted to belong rather than doing it because I understood that even if I was myself and my authentic self, I was still worth to be called Black Italian woman. And I think a lot of us are waiting for permission before we are bold. You're waiting for someone to tell you, oh, you are Italian before you believe that you're Italian. You're waiting for someone to tell you, oh, you are Ghanaian before you even believe that you're Ghanaian. Yes, maybe you were not born there. Maybe the way you see things is different, but you should never determine, and maybe you don't look like the typical Italian, but you should never allow someone to identify you and to tell you who you are and who you're not. And when you're waiting for someone to do that, what you're actually doing indirectly is giving them permission to tell you when you can be bold and when you cannot be bold. I never thought about it like that because I always thought like, oh, why do I feel like I don't belong? Like I need to do more to make sure that I fit in so I feel like I belong. But one thing that I understood is belonging is not a feeling. I need to understand that I belong so I can take up the space that I need to take in that specific area. And like it reminded me of like this example, like when you go in your room, you don't knock, right? Because you know that this is your room, you know that this is your space, and you're gonna take up as much space as you want. If you're like me, you're gonna take up as much space as you want in your room, right? But sometimes we go in certain environments, right? We go in certain even career fields, and we are waiting for the people that haven't created the space for us. Let me say again, people that haven't created the space for us to make us feel like we belong, rather than understanding that we belong and we need to take up the space so that when someone comes in, they can feel that they belong. Now, you will find yourself in certain positions where you feel like you don't belong, and it will be your responsibility to make sure that you create a space so that when someone comes up, they know that they feel like they belong. But you won't. Sometimes you need to start. Take up the space. Take up the space that you're in. Be bold and do not act of fear, but generally be your bold self. You already have what it takes to be bold. And you're probably wondering, like, what do I already have? Your identity, who you are. I am a Black woman born in Italy, originally from Ghana, living in the UK. I am passionate about a lot of things, music. I'm Christian, so when I go in a certain space, in a certain career field, and maybe that space hasn't been created for me, what I am telling someone that is going to come after me is, you can bring your authentic self into this space. So be boldly you, even when you go in places where you've been made feel like you don't belong. You're wondering as well, how am I asking for permission? Like, I haven't asked anyone to, can I be bold or can I be confident? You probably haven't used the words, but maybe your actions. For example, are you taking compliments, insults as compliments? For example, I used to hear the word like, oh, you're so beautiful to be Black. That is not a compliment. That is someone that feels entitled, basically telling me that Black women are not beautiful and that I am an exception. Now, me seeing it as a compliment at the time was basically me saying, good, I have received the validation that I need. Now I can feel confident in my beauty. So when you're seeking for validation from people, that is when you're indirectly asking for permission all the time. I remember as well when I used to apply, there was a time where I was I got rejected from unis that I really wanted to go to. And it was crazy how at the time I felt like I had received these rejections. I wasn't good enough. I wasn't worth it. And my vision was impossible. So there was a point that I was even wondering, like, what is everyone seeing? How do people still believe in me when I am receiving no's from everywhere? And now actually reflecting about it, it just reminds me that at the time, the reason why the validation from the people around me wasn't enough is because I wasn't receiving the yes from the institution that I wanted to go into. And it felt like I had to receive that yes before I could be confident that I could pursue that vision. And right now, when I think about it, I'm so happy that I received those rejections, because now it's not anymore about who is telling me no. It's all about who is actually going to give me the opportunity to show who I am, right? I'm not thinking anymore as I need a yes from an institution before I pursue my dreams. I am pursuing my dreams boldly and confidently. And then if someone believes in it, good. If someone doesn't believe in it, that's perfectly fine. And because rejections do not determine anymore if something is going to happen or not. Anytime you find yourself passionate about something, you find yourself in an environment where you want to do something, you know you're meant to be doing something in that environment, even in your family or even in your friendships, or even, and you feel like, I don't belong here. But you when you understand that you're meant to be here, but you feel like you don't belong here, ask yourself, what am I supposed to do here, rather than, do I even deserve to be here? Because the thing is, the difference between someone that can really take up this space and someone that can't take up their space is believing that they meant to do something. When you understand that you're meant to do something, you start working on the areas that you need to improve on. Is it knowledge? Is it the way you speak? Is it the way you react? You start learning and shaping yourself and actually start becoming, rather than waiting for someone to say, oh, you deserve to be here. And trust me, you might not find someone that understand that you deserve to be here until you become what you need to become. And that process of believe from becoming and believing yourself and people seeing your value is a journey that you're gonna have to go through by yourself. And until you understand that and you're still waiting for validation and seeking validation, you will never be bold and confident. Be bold and confident. You already have what it takes, and stop asking for permission. Thank you so much for listening. Bye. Ciao, ciao.